welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be hopping into an update on the beloved PennyPincher. Let's head on over.
Okay, we're back on the PennyPincher working. As you can see by looking under the cover here, it's missing the head. We have another project tractor that we're working on that needed the head worked on, so we took the head down. They're gonna go over that and make sure. We think that might be why it smokes. So he's gonna go over the head, and he's actually gonna do a little porting on the head to give us a little more power. So that's why this is currently tore apart. We gotta get a gasket kit coming here shortly, so when the head gets back, we can put it all back together. But while it's in the shop again, and we have time because we're waiting for the head to come, we started doing some other stuff. So there used to be a pump here and lines and went to a lift assembly here for the cultivators and stuff on these tractors, on these Super Cs. We took all that out, made this new T-bracket to hold the fuel tank up, got rid of the pump. I made a plate here to cover up where the pump was so the oil don't leak. That shaved probably, I'm gonna say what, 150 pounds. It was fairly
I would say
heavy.
it's somewhere around there, that ballpark.
So that took 150 pounds out of the middle that we can now put back right over the axle to keep it biting and pulling. The old seat box was starting to fall apart real bad and was quite bulky. So I built a new seat bracket and refastened the seat. It's going to be a little rougher ride now because it's solid, but that shaved probably a good 10-15 pounds off that we can put, which was already over the axle. Just makes it a little easier to get on and off the tractor and move your feet around now because you don't have that giant box that used to come clear up to the gear shift lever.
Another thing is it's much closer, so I can reach it a lot easier.
I made it a little bit closer so David can reach a little easier. I took the mid-weight bracket off while I had it in here, and I welded a piece of steel down the bottom of it to rigid it up a little bit, make it, because it was starting to want to bend when we got a lot of weights on it. You could see it really bending. And then I welded these. These used to be the levers for the hydraulics. I cut them off and welded them on. So now when we put weights on, we know we have to stop here. And we can only use this part for weights because on the, actually I think, well no, the brake side, the right hand side, the brakes didn't bother, but on the left hand side, the clutch would actually hit the weights if you had them in all the way into the bracket. So just to relieve the chances of that happening, I put those on it. So that's all done now. Like I said, there used to be controls here for the hydraulics. We got rid of all that stuff as well. Now we're currently working on, I've got some tubing laying here. Finally found some tubing that'll fit one another so we can start building our wheelie bars so that we can go to a lot more places and pull.
Safely.
A lot of places won't let us pull because we don't have wheelie bars. So that's in the process now. I'm working on figuring that all out and getting them built so that we can go to other places and pull, not have to be kicked before we even get a chance to pull because we don't have wheelie bars. In the process of building those, I'm going to actually build an extra weight bracket off this side, the axle, off the bracket for the wheelie bars so that we can hang weights on this side, the axle, along with the mid-weight bracket. Because we've shaved a lot of weight off this, I think we're going to have more places to hang weights. I know we covered in a short video, but we put these new tires on it last fall. These center hubs are off of Minneapolis Moline's Model R. We had a local machine shop cut us step keys, and then I had to work them a little bit to put them in. And then the tires and rims we bought on Facebook Marketplace downstate for 80 bucks. So we have $100 in the hubs, $100 in the step keys, and $80 in the tires and rims, and a couple bucks in paint. But just by switching to these tires, we got a lot wider stance. They're actually a touch shorter, so that will gain us a little bit of power. We'll lose a little speed, but we'll gain power. But most of the time we're in first gear pulling anyway, so yeah, may actually do us better because maybe we can actually get into second gear and pull in some of the lighter classes.
Yeah. I mean, the whole goal of pulling isn't to go fast, it's to go far.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, you gotta have, but then you need a certain amount of speed as well.
Yeah.
So
it's a balance.
we're interested to see. We've made a lot of changes to it this winter and this spring. Interested in seeing once we get everything back together and get it to the polls and see how she does. Still hoping to have it ready by Liberty's polls in June. We have about a month and a half for that yet. The machine shop guy was hoping to have it done by then, so we can get it back together. One thing I am contemplating is supposedly a 240 intake and exhaust manifold. Will actually breathe a little better than the Super C manifolds. They're a little bit bigger, which if he's doing the porting and stuff on the heads, I may see if I can find a 240 intake and exhaust manifold and put on it to help it out a little bit. Other than that, the other thing we got to do is the adjustable hitch yet. I'm still debating on how I'm going to do that yet. All right, back on the PennyPincher. I've been doing a little bit of work on it here and there when I get time. So I got the floor pan here painted because we had taken that seat bracket out, so this was all rusty. Got all that cleaned up and painted so it didn't rust more. These brackets I braced up with another welded flat bar here to give it a little more stability so they're not shaking as bad. They used to kind of wobble pretty good when we had the weights fully on it. And then, but the big elephant is I got the wheelie bars done finally. Took quite a bit of measuring and figuring out. As far as I know, they should be good. Right now I have them up so that when you load onto a trailer, you don't get into running into them. But we'll pull this pin and then there's a hole right there. Pop that back in and there they are. This one, for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. I may have to oil it. This one, you gotta take a hammer to get it to come out for some reason. To last 4 to 6 inches are a little rough for some reason. I probably just need to maybe grind them a little bit. I haven't had time to play with it. So, but the wheelie bars are on. As you can see, I triangulated them to make them a little stiffer. They seem to be fairly solid. I mean, so, and then also with that, as you can see up front here, on the front side of the bracket, I decided to weld in, I bent a piece of flat steel and then braced it across and added a place to put another 4 or 5-ish weights here on the axle because we've shaved a lot of weight out of this tractor. And so we're gonna have to put more weight on it to run the classes we do normally, but we took a decent amount of weight out of the middle of the tractor that now we can add back here. So, and we lost just a little bit of weight space because of the wheelie bars. So I made the brackets up there so that we can add more there. Try to get it all back here over the tires so that they bite in and go. Right now we're still waiting on the head to get done from the machine shop so we can get that back together. We have the gasket kit coming for it. As soon as we get the gasket kit and the head, we'll put it back together and have it running. A few things I need to do yet or hoping to get a chance to do yet before Liberty polls, which I'm hoping to have it back together by then. I'm thinking about heating this and bending it back just a little bit further, bringing it kind of this way a little more. You can reach it easier. I've got to heat that center brace under the gas tank up a little bit and twist it because the tins aren't sitting quite right. So I got to do some fine tuning there with that yet. And then I'm still trying to debate on how to do my wheelie bar or my adjustable weight bracket back here, weight bracket, adjustable hitch back here so that we can fit into all the classes and be good to go. So that's the big thing I'm still pondering, trying to figure out how to redo that and make it to where I can adjust it up and down. So, and debating whether I want to take the PTO out of it. I mean, the PTO would shave a little more weight off, but for most of the places we're pulling, we're gonna have to add weight to it to get it to the 3,500 pound class that we're going to be starting out in, because most of the ones around here start out at 3,500 pounds. So I don't really see where that's going to help us because we don't have any pulls that go a lower weight class. So
that, and isn't it going to be a pain to refill it back up too?
Yeah, because the fill plug is kind of walled out in here. So I don't know if I can get that out, but I do want to take the bottom drain plug out of it sometime and check it and make sure there ain't no water in it, because I never did that when we got it going. So other than that, that's about it. Getting really close. Still trying to find a set of front tires for the front end so we can change them out to a lighter front wheel and tire, which would help because that would shave a little weight up front that we can put in the back as well. But a lot of the weight savings seems kind of weird because we're we're shaving weight off, but we're gonna have to add a bunch of weight in, but we're shaving weight off the front and middle that we can put right over the axles, which will, in the later classes, we'll be starting out with weight right over the axle that we weren't before, which will give us a better bite, and maybe we can do even better in the lower classes. So
give us a better fighting chance.
yep, I guess that's it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, give this video a like. If you like the channel, you can subscribe and turn on notification bells to get notified of all further uploads. And if you really want to help me out, click cards in the video to take in more content. And with that all ado, adios.